A 10 years old girl is facing 30 years behind bar in one of the most appalling crime that has shocked the whole nation. Some people have been saying that what could push a 10 years old child to commit the atrocities that this child has committed? There has been competing explanation for this child's behavior. Some people have said this is spiritual attack, that only the devil can get into a child to have the mind to carry out the atrocities that these girls have carried out. Why some have said these are signs of the end time, that the world is coming to an end. That is why we are seeing strange things. That how can anybody rationalize why a 10 years old child will be facing up to 30 years in jail? Why some have said this is down to parenting, that this child is inherent in them, that they genetically inherit this kind of demonic behavior from their parent. Let me know what your views are. If you are somebody that has a child, please kindly ensure that you see this video, because you could be leaving your child with a child, not knowing that you are leaving your child with a monster devil. Frank is my name for those seeing my face for the first time. Let's dive into the story. This 10 years old child, the mom of this baby, who is less than 3 years old. The baby was playing with a 9 years old and a 10 years old. There are people that the mom is familiar with. The mom said, since my child is playing with somebody that I know, I don't need to worry, because my child, I know these children, they all will live in the same area. At least I know their parents. The woman was relaxed because she felt that her child was playing with somebody that the family knew. What she didn't know was that the child was playing with a monster. A monster, that is what the child was playing. The child was playing with a monster. These children, they tricked this child, they took this child to a place where this child was there playing, thinking that this child, they were going to go to somewhere and play with this child. This child went with them. The child trusted them. The mom has already told her daughter that if you see anybody that you do not know, do not talk to them. The child felt that she was comfortable with the people that she was with, because they are people that she knew they live in the same area and they grew up together. They tricked this child to a park. When they got to this park, they started attacking this child. This child initially thought, what was going wrong? These people that I know, why are they attacking me? Before you know what was happening, they started putting their hands in this child's private parts. They started putting their hands in this child's private part. They started using, they pulled this child, they beat this small child to the point where they pulled the scalp from the child's head. When the child was a passerby, here this child was breathing almost at the point of death. The passerby was shocked. What is going on? He thought, so children playing with children, the passerby thought everything is fine. What the passerby didn't know was that there was somebody who was almost at the point of death where they were. When the passerby eventually intervened, what they saw, they were shocked. They pulled this child's hair to the point that the scar was bleeding. I mean, if you are a parent, your children or your child is playing with 9 years and 10 years old child, that they all live in the same area, you won't be worried. You won't think that they are going to do something harmful to your child, because as a parent, as a human being, you do not expect a 9 and 10 years old children to want to do anything harmful to your child. You will trust them, especially if they are people that you live in the same neighborhood that you know. When this passerby eventually called the ambulance, the ambulance came, they were shocked. This child has been raped. The people that did this thing, they are only 9 and 10 years old. If you are a parent, you're watching me now, you have to be extra vigilant, because it's not every time the description of a devil, somebody that is going to harm you, you think, oh, it's going to look like this. No, it could be somebody who is as young, who you least expect. When the child was taken to, when the child was arrested, the child said they planned this thing. He said they planned this thing because this child parent, they are giving this child a lot of presents. They said they planned this thing. This is something they plan to harm this point. Their plan was to end this child's life. Do you think this is the work of the devil? Do you think this is demonic attack? Because most of us, we will fall for this. When 9 years old and 10 years old are playing with your child, you will never suspect that they will ever harm your child. When this child was arrested, the child was arrested, and the authorities said, look, despite the fact that you are a child, you have to face the consequence of your action. This is attempted murder. In the UK alone, almost 440 children were locked up in 2023, according to the official youth justice statistics. Here is a shocking part. Black children make up roughly 25% of those in custody. Even true black population in the UK is less than 30%. This is a shocking something that everybody needs to wake up. Not only in the UK, the United States, for instance, youth imprisonment has dropped since the 90s, but yet black youth still make up nearly 47% of all youth locked up in juvenile facilities in the US. Even true that they only account for 14% of the population in the US. So what do you think would force a child to plan to unlife another child? Do you think this is the work of the devil? Do you think this is a spiritual attack? And if you are a parent, or you know any parent, you're watching me now, you have to be vigilant. The idea of somebody that we all believe is going to harm us, is going to be somebody that look like this, somebody like, it's not so. Anybody with the right mindset can cause harm. This woman, this child is still mentally scarred. This child is still mentally scarred to the point where, as we speak today, the mom said her child has not fully recovered from what happened to her. In fact, the child is still having nightmare. So here is the hard question. Should this 10 years old be punished like an adult, as some have advocated? Who failed these children? The family, community, the system? Are we paying attention to the silent crisis before the tragedy happened? Kindly share your thoughts about this very important subject. And if you know anybody that has children, kindly ensure that they see this video. I repeat, the person that will harm you is not the person that you have in your mind that it looks like this. It comes from one community. It looks like this. It could be where you least expect. That is why we are a parent. We all need to be vigilant. Let me know in the comment section whether you think that this is spiritual attack, signs of the end time, mental health, or parenting. Your views are very, very important.